What if I told you that the secret to making her regret leaving is to stop caring? Not to pretend, not to fake it, but to truly let go, to reach a level of detachment so powerful that her absence doesn't affect you, her words don't faze you, and her decisions no longer hold any weight in your life. Right now, you're stuck in a loop, replaying conversations in your mind, wondering what you did wrong, analyzing every little detail, searching for some kind of closure that will never come. And that desperation, that need for answers, it's the very thing pushing her further away. Women are drawn to strength. Not the kind you show in the gym, not the kind you display in a fight, but the strength of self-control, the ability to walk away, to remain unfazed, to show her, without saying a word, that her presence or absence in your life makes no difference to you. That kind of strength is rare, and anything rare is valuable. The moment you stop seeking her validation, she unconsciously starts seeking yours. That's the paradox of desire. We want what we can't have. She expects you to be hurt. She expects you to react. She expects you to reach out, to show her that she still holds power over you. And when she doesn't get that reaction, it confuses her. It unsettles her. It makes her question her own worth. Did she misjudge you? Was she wrong about you? Why aren't you reacting the way she expected? Suddenly, she starts thinking about you more than she did when you were together. She starts checking your social media, looking for some sign that you're still affected by her absence. But when she sees nothing, no sad posts, no bitter messages, no desperate attempts to win her back, it shakes her confidence. And this is where most men fail. They think that playing games, faking indifference, or pretending to move on will have the same effect. But women are intuitive. They feel when your detachment is real, and that's when it becomes powerful, because when you truly stop caring, you shift the dynamic, you take back control, and that's when she starts to panic. A man who is indifferent is a man who cannot be controlled. When you stop placing your value in her opinion, she no longer holds power over your mind. And that's when she realizes she may have lost something rare, something irreplaceable, something she can't just find again. But by the time she understands this, it will be too late, because you won't be there waiting. You'll be too busy leveling up, focusing on yourself, and becoming the man you were always meant to be. If you're ready to reclaim your power, like this video, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you never miss another lesson in dominance and self-mastery. And comment below. Indifference is power. Number 1. The initial pain. How it feels when she walks away. It hits you like a punch to the gut. One moment, she's there, smiling, laughing, acting like you're the most important person in her life. Then, without warning, she's gone. Maybe she said she needed space. Maybe she told you she wasn't happy anymore. Or maybe she didn't even give you that, just silence, distance, and a slow, painful fade into nothing. And now, you're stuck. You can't sleep. You can't focus. Your mind keeps replaying the same moments, searching for an answer that will never come. That's the worst part, the complete loss of control. She made the decision, she dictated the terms, and you're left reacting, waiting, hoping she'll change her mind. But let me tell you something, every second you spend in this state, you lose more of yourself. Because neediness repels. The more you obsess over her, the more certain she becomes that she made the right choice. Women don't leave strong men. They leave men who depend on them for validation, for happiness, for meaning. And right now, whether you realize it or not, you're showing her that her absence has the power to break you. But here's where most men go wrong. They let the pain consume them. They chase, they beg, they remind her of all the good times, thinking that if she just remembers, she'll come back. But that never works, because all she sees is a man who has lost control of himself, of his emotions, of his entire reality. And a man without control is a man without power. So what do? You absorb the pain, but you don't let it break you. You take every ounce of heartbreak, every sleepless night, every moment of self-doubt, and you turn it into fuel. Because here's the truth. This pain isn't permanent. But how you respond to it, that will define you. This is your moment, your test. You can either let this destroy you, or you can let it forge you into something unshakable. Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." You don't control whether she leaves. You don't control whether she comes back. But you do control what happens next. And the moment you shift your focus from her to yourself, the moment you stop waiting, stop hoping, stop needing, that's when everything changes. Because the second you stop caring, she feels it. And that's when the panic sets in. Like this video, subscribe, and comment below. I control my mind. Number 2. The shift. Why she loses interest and how you reverse it. You felt the connection. You gave her attention, love, and effort. You thought everything was going well until one day she started pulling away. The texts became shorter. The calls became less frequent. She wasn't as excited to see you. And then, just like that, she was gone. No explanation that made sense. No real closure. Just coldness, distance, and a sense that she had already moved on long before she told you. And now you're wondering, what changed? What did you do wrong? The truth: you didn't do anything wrong. You just made the one fatal mistake most men make. You cared too much. Women don't leave because they suddenly find you unattractive. They don't leave because of one argument, one bad day, or even one mistake. They leave because they stop feeling something. And more often than not, that feeling fades when you become too available, too predictable, too easy to figure out. When you put her on a pedestal, when you make her the center of your world, when you give her all your attention without her having to work for it, she stops valuing it. Why? Because women are wired to chase emotions, excitement, uncertainty, the thrill of wanting something they can't fully have. The moment she feels like she has you, completely, unquestionably, without effort, she starts looking for the next emotional high. That's why the guys who are emotionally unavailable, the ones who are hard to read, the ones who make women wonder where they stand, those are the men women can't stop thinking about. Because their attention isn't a guarantee, it has to be earned. So how do you reverse it? You stop giving your attention away so easily. You stop showing her or any woman that your happiness depends on them. You stop being predictable. You become the man who is focused on himself first, his purpose, his growth, his life. Because the second you stop placing her above yourself, the dynamic shifts. You no longer need her validation. And when she senses that, that's when she starts thinking about you again. The paradox of desire is simple. We want what we can't have. The moment she realizes you've stopped caring, the moment she sees that you're no longer seeking her approval, that's when the attraction returns. Not because you played some game, not because you manipulated her, but because you became the one thing every woman is drawn to, a man who is completely in control of himself. Like this video, subscribe and comment below. I need nothing. Number 3. The cold shoulder, the power of silent detachment. She expects a reaction. She expects you to chase, to reach out, to prove that you still care. She's waiting for that long message explaining how much she means to you. She's expecting the late-night call, the emotional outburst, the desperate attempt to get her back. That's what she's prepared for. That's what every other man has done before. But what happens when you give her nothing? No texts, no calls, no explanations, just silence. Silence is unsettling. It forces people to sit with their own thoughts, and when you suddenly remove your presence from her life, completely, without warning, she notices. At first, she might not react. She might even feel relieved. But then time passes. She starts wondering, why isn't he reaching out? Why isn't he trying to fix this? The absence of your attention creates a void, and the more she thinks about that void, the more she starts to question everything. Understand this. Women expect closure. They expect to be the ones in control. And when you don't give them that closure, when you refuse to explain yourself, when you simply vanish, it leaves a mark. She might try to act like she doesn't care. She might post pictures, go out, even talk to someone new. But deep down, something is different, because now you're unpredictable. You're no longer the man she had figured out. And that mystery is what starts pulling her mind back to you. Most men can't handle silence. They break under it. They panic when they don't get a response, when they don't see a reaction, when they feel ignored. But the man who can master silence, he holds all the power. Because silence is louder than words, it forces her to sit in the reality that you are truly done. And that's when she starts to panic. When she finally reaches out, because trust me, at some point she will, you won't react emotionally. You won't give her the satisfaction of knowing she still has an effect on you. Because by then, you won't just be pretending to be indifferent. You'll be indifferent. You'll have shifted your focus so completely onto yourself that her presence or absence makes no difference. And that is when she realizes she lost you. Like this video, subscribe and comment below. Silence speaks volumes. Number 4, the transformation, how to become untouchable. Right now, she thinks she knows you. She believes she can predict your moves, your thoughts, your emotions. She expects you to be the same man who once placed her on a pedestal, the man who would do anything to get her back. But what happens when you change? When you stop being the man she walked away from and become someone she no longer recognizes? That's the moment everything shifts. Pain is fuel. Rejection is fuel. And if you use it correctly, it becomes the very thing that forges you into something greater. This is where most men fail. They sit in their pain, they drown in their sadness. They let heartbreak define them. But the man who understands true power doesn't wallow. He builds, he evolves. He turns every ounce of pain into progress. So what does that look like? It looks like hitting the gym harder than ever, sculpting your body into something she can't ignore. It looks like diving into your work, your passions, your business, and making money in ways she never expected. It looks like refining your mind, reading, learning, growing until you become an entirely different version of yourself, one that is stronger, sharper, and completely unshakable. When she finally looks back, because at some point she will, she won't recognize the man in front of her. She'll see someone who doesn't need her validation, someone who doesn't crave her attention, someone who has become so rare that she now questions everything. But here's the trick. By the time she realizes this, you won't care anymore. You won't be doing this for her, you'll be doing this for you. And that is what makes it powerful. Because the moment you shift your energy away from her and into your own self-mastery, you become untouchable. No woman, no rejection, no moment of weakness will ever control you again. She walked away thinking she was leaving behind the same man she met. Make sure that when she looks back, she sees someone she never had. Like this video, subscribe and comment below. Pain fuels my power. Number 5, the psychological reversal, when she starts noticing. At first she doesn't care. She assumes you're hurting, that you're sitting there thinking about her, waiting, hoping she'll change her mind. That's what she expects. And for a while, she doesn't even think about you. She's living her life, talking to other people, feeling free. She believes she made the right choice. And in her mind, you're still stuck where she left you, confused, broken, waiting for her to return. But then something shifts. She checks her phone, and there's nothing from you. Days turn into weeks. Still, silence. No late-night texts, no desperate attempts to get her back, no angry messages, just nothing. At first, she doesn't notice, but then she does. She gets curious. She glances at your social media, expecting to see something, some sign that you're struggling, that you're still thinking about her. But instead of sadness, she sees something else. You're in the gym, looking stronger than before. You're out with people, enjoying life. You're posting less, but when you do, there's an energy behind it. You don't look broken. You don't look lost. You look like a man who doesn't care anymore. And most importantly, you're not paying any attention to her. That's when it hits her. At first, she brushes it off. He's just pretending. But something feels off. She starts to wonder, has he moved on? Is he seeing someone else? Was I wrong about him? That wondering. That's the first crack in her confidence. Women don't just forget a man who was once deeply invested in them. If you were a man of value, if she ever truly admired or respected you, then seeing you completely unfazed by her absence bothers her. It challenges her perception of herself. It forces her to question things she never thought she'd have to. And the longer you remain silent, the more the doubt creeps in. She starts checking your stories more often, rereading old conversations, bringing your name up in random conversations. She starts testing. Maybe she likes an old picture. Maybe she sends a casual text just to see how you'll respond. And here's the irony. The more you actually move on, the more she starts thinking about you. The moment you stop caring is the moment she starts to. Because now, you're not just another guy hoping for a second chance. You're the one that got away. Like this video, subscribe, and comment below. I am the prize. Number 6. The test. When she reaches out, what do you do? It always happens. Maybe it takes weeks, maybe it takes months, but at some point, she reaches out. A random, hey, a question that doesn't really need an answer, a comment on something you posted. It doesn't matter what she says. What matters is why she's saying it. She's testing you. She wants to know if she still has control, if she still holds space in your mind, if you're still waiting for her. Because if you are, she wins. If you respond too eagerly, if you show even a hint of the man she left behind, she knows she still has power over you. And once she knows that, the cycle repeats. She loses interest, she pulls away, and you're back where you started. So what do? Simple. Nothing. You ignore it. Because a woman who left you doesn't deserve your attention. A woman who chose to walk away doesn't get the privilege of walking back in just because she's curious. Let her sit with that curiosity. Let her wonder why you're not responding. Because the moment she realizes that she no longer has control, the panic truly sets in. But let's say you do respond. You keep it short, cold, emotionally detached. You're not rude, but you're not giving her anything either. No excitement, no energy, no validation. Just a neutral, unreadable response that leaves her questioning where she stands. That's when she starts chasing. That's when she starts overthinking, because now the power dynamic has shifted. You're in control. She's the one looking for answers. Most men fail this test. They see that message and their emotions take over. They feel relief, excitement. She's thinking about me. And they blow it. They engage too much, too soon, and within minutes she realizes he never really moved on. And just like that, she loses interest again. But the man who truly masters indifference, he never falls for it. Because by the time she reaches out, he's already too far gone. He's already leveled up. And she's just another memory. Like this video, subscribe, and comment below. I control the game. Number 7. The ultimate power move. Walking away first. Most men wait. They hold on to hope, thinking that if they just stay patient, if they just give her time, she'll eventually realize what she lost and come running back. But that's exactly why they never get her back. Because waiting is weakness. Hope is weakness. The ultimate power move? Walking away first, not pretending, not faking it to get a reaction. Actually walking away. Cutting off all emotional attachment, not just physically but mentally. Moving on so completely that, if she ever tries to come back, she returns to a man she no longer recognizes. A man who doesn't need her, who doesn't even think about her. Because the truth is, women don't regret losing a man who waits. They regret losing a man who disappears, who doesn't need closure, who doesn't check in, who doesn't hesitate when it's time to leave. That's the man who sticks in their mind. That's the man they can't forget. When you walk away first, you send a message without saying a word. You tell her, you are not my priority. My life does not revolve around you. I am bigger than this moment. And that is what leaves an impact. She expects you to wait. She expects you to still care. She expects you to be there, lingering in the background, ready to take her back if she ever changes her mind. But when you don't, When you show her that her presence or absence makes no difference in your life, that's when the regret sets in. Because now, she doesn't just see you as the guy she left, she sees you as the guy who left her behind. Nothing is more powerful than a man who can walk away first. Not because he's angry, not because he wants revenge, but because he simply values himself too much to stay where he isn't respected. Like this video, subscribe and comment below. I walk away first. Number 8. The Stoic mindset. Mastering indifference in life. This isn't just about her. This isn't just about one relationship, one heartbreak, or one woman who didn't see your worth. This is about something bigger, something that will change your life forever. The ability to detach, the power of indifference, the mindset of a Stoic man. Because here's the truth, life will test you, people will disappoint you, women will come and go, friends will betray you, plans will fail. And if your happiness depends on anything outside of yourself, you will always be at the mercy of things you cannot control. That's why most men suffer, because they place their peace in the hands of other people. But a Stoic man, he is different. He doesn't react emotionally. He doesn't let external events shake him. He understands that pain, loss, rejection, they're all temporary. And no matter what happens, he remains unmoved, because he knows the only thing he truly controls is himself, his mind, his actions, his response. Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This is where real power comes from, not from money, not from status, not from validation, but from complete emotional control. The ability to stay calm when others panic, to stay focused when others lose direction, to be unshaken no matter what happens around you. When you reach this level of indifference, people feel it. Women sense it. They see that you are different, that you are not like other men. You are not desperate for their attention. You are not swayed by their emotions. You are not seeking their approval, and that makes you dangerous. That makes you magnetic. The moment you stop letting the world control you, you start controlling the world. And that is the key to becoming untouchable. That is the key to freedom. Like this video, subscribe and comment below. Nothing controls me. Number 9. The grand conclusion. She regrets, you rise. By now something has changed, but it's not her, it's you. You don't think about her the same way anymore. The pain that once consumed you, gone. The need for closure, irrelevant. The urge to prove yourself to her, non-existent. Because you finally understand something most men never will. You were never losing her. She was losing you. And here's the irony. The moment you stop caring, the moment you fully detach, that's when she feels it. That's when the regret sets in. Because you are no longer available. You are no longer a backup plan. You are no longer the man waiting in the shadows, hoping for another chance. You have moved on. And now she starts overthinking. Why didn't he fight for me? Why isn't he trying to win me back? Did I make a mistake? She starts watching you from a distance, checking your profile, asking mutual friends about you, maybe even reaching out with something small just to see if she still has a hold over you. But when she realizes that you don't care anymore, that you are truly gone, that's when the panic turns into regret. But here's the part that really matters. By the time she regrets it, you won't, because you've built yourself into something greater. The man she once knew, he doesn't exist anymore. You are sharper, stronger, more disciplined, more focused. You have leveled up so much that even if she did come back, she wouldn't be able to recognize the man in front of her. And that is when you've won. Because the truth is, you never needed her regret. You never needed her validation. You never needed her. What you needed was to see your own worth, to realize your own power, to understand that the most dangerous, most attractive, most powerful man is the one who is completely at peace with himself. She regrets, but you rise. Like this video, subscribe and comment below. I have already won. If you've made it this far, then you already understand the truth. You don't need her back. You don't need anyone back. Because the real win isn't making her regret losing you. The real win is becoming the kind of man who never loses himself in the first place. A man who is so focused, so disciplined, so in control,